Lords, I would first like to pay tribute to the Right Honourable Theresa May for introducing this bill. She has been a tireless campaigner and champion of this issue. I have for a long time been concerned that when people talk of domestic abuse, their frame of reference is exclusively adults. Unfortunately, children are the collateral damage for an abusive adult relationship. I therefore welcome the government's amendment to include in the definition of domestic abuse a child who sees, hears, or experiences the effects of the abuse and is related to the individuals. This is a step forward, but it is not enough. It does not capture the full horror of when the abuser parent uses the child as the weapon of choice. In my almost 20 years of running a charity, I saw this happen time and time again. The abuser will typically put pressure on the child, denigrating the other parent, or telling the child that the other parent does not love it anymore. Indoctrination of this kind is easily perpetrated by an abusive father as much as an abusive mother, because this is not gender related, is not just the poisoned fruit of a thirst for revenge. It is also deliberately intended to persuade the child to bear witness against the other parent in family court proceedings. Of course, there will be circumstances when a child will fully justified in not wanting further contact with a parent. But what I'm talking about here is a situation when a child's hostility towards one parent is the result of its psychological manipulation by the other parent. This is what is known as parental alienation. My lords, just imagine the distress and confusion that it causes the child, caught in a conflict of loyalty between its two parents. The child will be vulnerable and easily coerced into making false allegation in court, destroying the life and reputation of the abused parent, and denying the abused parent all contact with the child for no good reason. I have seen close up some of the devastating consequences of parental alienation, not only on adults, but also on the children themselves. I know, for example, of a 14-year-old boy who committed suicide because the pressure was unbearable. My charity produced several documentaries based on interviews with adults who had been alienated from one of their parents when they were children. They all suffered from severe mental issues, feeling of guilt, low self-esteem, depression, lack of trust, fear of abandonment, and many other symptoms. All this, you may say, is child abuse. But when a child is converted into a weapon in an abusive adult relationship, is it really sensible to try and distinguish between domestic abuse and child abuse? Surely not. My Lord, this is why I would like to put forward an amendment, which I very much hope the government will consider positively.